Oh, that's cool. Where is it?
This thing on? Remember, we can't look at the monitor. But you don't look. You look at monitors for a living.
Yeah,
remember?
that's why I'm
got kind
up,
of bitchy about that.
Remember that
in the last video?
Yeah.
Look at this. Don't look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Well,
right?
I do it for a living. I look at that one. I don't look at that one. You're like, don't look there. I'm like, I look there for a living. Why do I look there? Right? It's a small portion.
Yo, guys! It's Ricky and Johnny Salami today.
All aboard!
Everybody keeps fighting about cameras, so we figured we'd join in and fight too. It is going to be red scarlet-w versus a Canon C300. Mark II?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got all these marks and shit. So what does... You know what? Before we do that, I think we better get into our superhero.
We need our superheroes outfits. Let's double bump it.
Bam! All right. I got my red shirt on and my, like, it looks like a reporter's hat.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do you have an airy hat?
Oh, wait. We're not talking about these today.
Dude, that's like bringing a MAGA hat to like a Hillary Clinton
All right.
thing.
I'm back. What are you reporting
Which
today?
I would do. All right, so here we go. We're back to this. What does, I'll start with the red. This is a 5K red scarlet-w. What does a W stand for? Simple, weapon. In the red world, they like to make everything sound kind of hardcore, you know? Like badass and shit. So this is a freaking weapon, dude, okay? And we're gonna have a really good look at this here in a minute. Then this, you wanna talk about this?
Sure.
Why is this a what? A C what?
This is a C300 Mark II. Supposedly they're coming out with the Mark III in November. I'm going to jump on that. It's Canon's EOS line. It's a cinema camera. They make a 100, a 200, and a 300, and they also make a 700. And if you guys are old school, you know about the 500. I will get my hands on a 700 one day. But this, for me, was just like Ricky and I've been talking about off camera. It's like, why does Ricky like this? Why do I like this? That's why we're here today. We're not arguing. We could take it out on the mats, but like everyone argues, oh, well, this. Look, we're just here as camera lovers to talk about why we love them. So C300 Mark II was the camera that I saw. What is that?
Let me just say something really quickly. And you know what? I don't care. I'm not a cinematographer, right?
You're not a choreographer either.
You don't know that.
Oh, that's right. I don't know what
Baby
you're
Shark. Want to see me do Baby Shark? The only thing that I love about Aeroflex is that my uncle was in the Army Air Corps and he used an Aeroflex to film reconnaissance films. I think that's cool. Outside of that, I think it's overhyped. It's not even 4K. The red can do it all. I just don't believe it. So, but then I'm not making major motion pictures, and there's going to be a lot of guys really tear into me right now, and I think it's funny.
But if you remember the other day, Ricky, I called you and I said I might buy one. I might buy the Airy Classic.
Yeah,
and I called you from Sammy's and I said I might get one because I was looking for color science. That was the number one thing. So when I looked into it, they said color science and highlight roll-off. So I was, do I need this? Do I need this? Do I need this? My friends at Canon, Charles down there and Alex, they said to me, look, in here, there's a setting called production camera, which brings you super close. And I said, okay. And as Ricky says, I get a 4K camera with a color science that is super close. It's the one for me. Interesting.
So this is 4K, right? Mm-hmm. This is 5K. I'm just saying. Should we quit now?
And I'm going to agree with Ricky on this. For sure, the high resolutions, if you're doing that specific work for it, is okay. But think about 4K. If you're watching it on here or you're watching it somewhere, truly, you're not really getting the best of the 4K.
Yeah. Well, listen, the reason that you have 5K or 8K, and people are like, you don't have a monitor, it shows 8K. I get that. But you can, especially in a production scenario, if you're shooting and you want to punch in and you're delivering in 4K, you can essentially double your punch in, okay, and without losing resolution.
And great stills, right? I would love that if I had a red, because I do stills work as well. I'd love to have that kind of resolution.
Dan Baum was telling me about a guy who sold all his Phase 1 equipment picked up a red scarlet-w and is happier than he was with the phase 1, and he feels like he's getting better resolution. I don't know. We're not doing a side-by-side comparison of phase 1. Would I like to have a phase 1? That would be kind of cool. I'd love to have a Hasselblad, but I do have a Leica.
Oh, shit.
So
when we talked about doing this, I was like, look, I love this camera too. I've shot for you on this thing. We're camera fanatics. So we're just trying to say, give you guys a basic idea of, hey, maybe this one's for me, maybe this one's for me. Because if you don't know, and like I've put so much time on this thing. The other day I was at Canon and I had 619 on my profile, and I said, well, what is this? They said, that's the actual times you've pushed record. I said, that's pretty badass.
Wow.
So I'm fans of everything. If you want to hire me, I'll shoot this thing too. But today is just a fun part of like, what do you like about it? What don't you like about it? So Rikki, what are the features that you love about this the most?
all right, the thing that I love about it and the thing that I hate about it are the same things. First of all, this whole camera comes as a block. It is just simply a block. Everything is sold separately, which is frustrating. But the guys at Red will always work with people and try to put a package together. But everything is separate. But it's bad in the sense that you get home and you're like, okay, now I need a lens, I need a viewfinder, I need a monitor, I need a handle grip, I need a battery system, I need all this stuff. But the thing is that, you know, if you're a guy going into Red right now, you can say, like, I want a camera, I want a Canon mount, or I want a PL mount, or a Nikon mount, or a Leica mount.
What is Nikon? What does that mean?
I don't know. Nikon. Some people need an EVF. Some people would rather have a monitor. Some people would rather have a smaller monitor. Some people want a handle on top. Some people want an Anton Bauer system. Some people want interfaces. And it just depends on what you may already own or are used to working with, or what you're going to wind up working with. Some people just get the body and then they rent stuff depending on what job they have. And the reason I have a Red, people are like, that's freaking overkill. I know, I get it. I don't use it for many vlogs, but what I do use it for is when I'm on tour and I can get shots of the band. And if we want to make a video, I have 5K video that's going to hold up for a really, really long time. And that was my original reason, is I got the last Poison tour, I got tons of video on a Red camera and it looks freaking awesome. So that's my pitch for the Red. It's not light like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. It's pretty honky, but for a digital cinema camera, it's not bad at all. I mean, you know, you can get out and I actually have a strap I can put around this.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's reasonable weight-wise. That's my pitch.
Well, I like it because, as Rikki said, this is modular, so you have to piece it together. I like this because I can pull it out of the box and it's ready to go. Your handle comes with it, and your top handle comes with it. It's nice. Has
Falls over.
Falls over. It has internal NDs, which is nice. That's amazing.
That does not.
All I got to do is, you know, you go outside or whatever your neutral density filters you need for those, they're right there.
I've got a guy for that.
That's something I love about this, because I don't have to put on a matte box and get my filters and everything, which saves a lot of money, which is nice. I also like the waveform in this is nice, and it has a magnification. So I do a lot of horror films, so I can get down to the low IREs and be able to see it and get perfect exposure. Canon rates skin tones at a certain IRE, so I know what that number is, and I can always grab it every time and be perfectly exposed, which is nice. We have audio, XLR, 2 XLRs for audio right here, which is nice. It's broadcast quality audio, which is cool.
No, that is nice. I will say that. The thing that's, you know, listen, there's something awesome about a camcorder. This is literally a high-end camcorder. I mean, essentially, this is a derivative of old school camcorders. Right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And there are some YouTubers that are using camcorders.
Oh, wow, from the old days.
But it's focused, it's got a screen, it's got, you know, mic ins, headphones. I mean, don't laugh. You know what I mean?
Right,
I mean, you know what I mean? It's everyone's like all wrapped up in mirrorless and stuff like that, and I am too. But this is bitching because it does have XLRs. Mm-hmm. This does not. I have a little box made by Wooden Camera that I put on this. It does have internal mics, which are not very good. The other thing is, in this universe, this ecosystem, as it were. You know, you can constantly upgrade these things, which is really cool. I mean, so, hey, let's go shoot with these fuckers.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I want to say about this is the facial recognition. It's an auto-focusing system that detects the face, which is amazing if you're doing walk and talks or your documentary. I've shot a bunch and the producer said, wow, you really nailed your focus on that. I was like, yeah, I did. But in actuality, I was using facial recognition and following and tracking the face the whole time, which is pretty cool. So that's basically what I love about it the most.
And there's this little dial right here that you use to focus with, but this is a manual focus lens. So how does that focus? I don't understand if it's manual.
I'll show you.
Okay, we're gonna go out and shoot some stuff.
It's on right now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
But it's not focusing.
Watch, come here. Yes,
Look, what if I come up here like this?
no,
I do not see it focusing.
Facial recognition.
Okay, well, so. What do you think?
It was good. Good time. It was fun to go out and shoot stuff, you know, on the fly. I was loving the fact that I could change my ISO on the fly, just keep that waveform right where it needed to be exposure-wise. And Rikki and I we're going through and changing exposures and frame rates, and it was a good time.
You know, really, honestly, it's what you really get used to. If, you know, it's just like I tell people with music, you know, if you're playing sonar drums or DW drums, you know, if you're a good drummer, that's what really counts. You know, the gear's important, but the gear's an extension. It's like what we talked about with the motorcycle, that what did I call it? Parapersonal space.
Nice one.
What it is that anything in front of your body you can kind of control, like handlebars, or you feel a part of, like video games, things like that, become part of this parapersonal space that you interact with, and it's kind of like the first step to artificial intelligence in a way. Because it's like, I can't do it, but my camera can. I can't figure out what that answer is or calculate that number, but my phone can, and it's right here.
Wow.
It's a part of me, you know what I'm saying?
That's fascinating.
So it's kind of like that idea. So I don't mean to get crazy with an explanation, but at the end of the day, it's like if your camera starts to feel a part of you, that's when you start to really get good. You can have like an amazing camera. You can have the most expensive Aeroflex camera and not be able to tell a story with it because you don't know how to handle it. You don't have the feel for it. You don't know how to work the controls. And then you can have some smaller little Canon Rebel and like do amazing stuff because you know exactly how to work that thing. And that's why some people are making movies on these things, and they're actually doing pretty good with it. We're not there yet, I don't think. Some Soderbergh would argue.
It's awesome, and Rikki touched on some cool things. You know, you can have any of these, right? But it's here, and it's your heart and your mind that are making the best images. So I got hired for a job the other day with the C300. I said, I'm whipping through the menus, it feels good. But I've also shot on Reds, and I've also shot on Sonys. So whatever you feel comfortable with. I love this thing. It's cool. Ricky's trying to get me to buy one. I don't know.
Yeah, you're in 3D. All right. So I think that we gave a really horrible overview, which is what we do.
Well, we can wrap it up by this. We enjoy cameras, and today we tried to show you what makes each camera that you might want to purchase from a non-technical standpoint, but just two guys that love cameras. I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I love this. It's like...
So whatever you're into, whatever level you're at, you're eventually going to want the best product possible for your job. So I happen to do it professionally, so that camera's perfect for me. Rikki, like he said, he needs to get quality when he's out there shooting the poison stuff, so he has his. So there's no right or wrong with cameras, no right or wrong with motorcycles, no right or wrong with cars. But today we're just two guys that love cameras wanting to show you your options.
Two guys that love cameras. And you know what? If you're shooting on a camera that isn't as high resolution, so what? It really is about the story at the end of the day. Sometimes, and I will say this, if I have a camera that's capable of more, I'll go do more.
Yeah.
So, so you can't completely negate what the capabilities of the camera are. At the end of the day, you'll feel like you can accomplish more, so you'll try more and you'll strive more and you'll add things to your story that you ordinarily may not have. So that's the flip side of what we're talking about here. My red just shut off. It says improper shutdown. We'll wait for the red camera to boot up. All right, it's back on. Anyway, so like I was saying, if you have a piece of equipment that can do more, sometimes it'll push you to do more. And so I think that's kind of important too. You can't always just say, well, it's about the story, and I can do it with a phone, Well, yeah, I guess. Just because everybody has a pencil and a piece of paper doesn't mean they're going to write a great story, or everybody would be Stephen King.
Sure. Or what's the end result? I need a Netflix movie. Okay, you need this camera. I need to hang out with my buddies and shoot skate and BMX videos. That's fine too. What's the end result is pretty important as well. Do I need an 8K Red to go out and shoot skate videos? Probably not. But my end delivery is Netflix. I'm going to put this in festivals, and I need to be on Netflix. They have a 4K requirement, so you need a 4K camera. And all 4K cameras are not the same.
No, and even an Aeroflex is only 3.7K.
There's bit rates and color space. Just enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. It's like jiu-jitsu.
But the reason people use Red, and 8K, by the way, is if they're doing a lot of CGI effects. You have way more points to work with, way more resolution to work with. And that's the reason it's used for Guardians of the Galaxy and those kind of films.
And all David Fincher movies as well.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
He does a center extraction and literally takes the piece out and puts it into a part of the frame. It's amazing.
Right. I think it was fun doing this.
Yeah, it's fun. It was just two guys that like cameras having fun. We're not here to sell on anybody on anything, just have some good times.
Exactly. So I'll leave it up to you.
Well, take care of each other and keep rock alive.
Subscribe and leave a like down below so you don't miss another video. Turn on notifications.